For some reason, some engineers see all-in-one plugins like the CLA Signature series as cheating, but that's just not the case. And in this clip, Aaron explains why he and so many other Nail the Mix producers love using these types of plugins because it allows them to be more creative and get to the finish line much faster. Check it out and enjoy.
So the first things first, I like using this. The RVox. Renaissance Vocals. I think that's what, isn't that what RVoke, right? Is that what RVoke stands for? Renaissance?
Yeah.
Renaissance. I'm not going to adjust these yet, but I'm just going to put these in here for now. And then stereo de-esser. I already kind of know my voice, having lived with me so long, that I kind of just know how to set up the de-esser already. And that's just in case we need it. And turn that on just in case we need it. And that's basically the vocal bus. I like using, and you can use any compressor, but I like using RVox. It's just super easy. It's just a fixed threshold attack release, and it's just a threshold knob or slider rather. But just to glue vocals together, just to glue your tracks together, especially with things like doubles or things like screaming where you want it to be a little bit more sonically robust. This will kind of do that for you. And it'll also kind of allow you to control everything, not just volume wise, but dynamically. Now this is going to be comedic, but this is like, I want to stress the importance of utilizing tools that other people have created. A few albums ago, we did our record Defy with Howard Benson. I remember when I was tracking vocals with him, we were talking about how he'd brought it up, and he goes, you know, Chris has plugins, and they make his workflow a lot easier. I want to do a plugin.
Chris is in CLA.
Yeah, as in Chris Lord LG. Because they've done a lot of records. They're like old friends and stuff. Which is how CLA got involved in our album. But yeah, he was talking about that. And then I remember Howard had texted me and said, hey, we made one. Can I send it to you? And I was like, sure. I was literally working on something at the time. So I was like, yeah, I'd love to put it on. So I load it up, right? And I click the first preset. It's HBvoke 1. And I was like, I immediately started laughing because it was just, that was the sound. That was the sound from our album. You know what I mean? And it's there. So I'm going to show you the plugin. I'm not getting paid for this, but I'm a huge advocate of like passing on things that I think are incredibly useful. So this one is incredibly useful. So it's the Joey Sturgis Tones Howard Benson plugin. HBvoke channel. Like you've got to be kidding me. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, well, of course, why would you not? So I'll show you literally how I set mine up. I have magic numbers that mean, I don't know. This is just how I set it up. Echo. I like half note delay. I'm a big sucker for like real long half note delay. And this is a great sounding stereo delay. And only maybe 19. You can see the GUI is kind of messed up because this is literally the first edition of the plugin. It's been updated several times since then. This is just the one he sent me. So it's literally got a multiplier. It's got width, which just basically sort of takes your vocals and adds, you guessed it, width. The echo is a either stereo or mono delay. That's got its own built-in lo-fi, which I think is super cool because that saves you from, you know, creating a delay on an aux channel and then EQing that delay so it's got sort of a more lo-fi, high mid sort of sound. This just does that. And then the reverb's really nice. turned all the way up, but I like just a little bit of it. I prefer to use delay over reverb on vocals because I think reverb can sometimes get convoluted, and a well-timed delay or a good sounding delay can sort of do what you think you want reverb to do, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So I'm just going to show you. And I put the processed vocals in with the unprocessed vocals just in case you wanted to try and use a few different plugins to sort of get that stereo spread. But that's why I advocate for things like this, because if you're like me and you were before now, I was working on a 2012 MacBook Pro and I didn't have the like CPU capacity to just be running 5 or 6 or 7 different plugins where one plugin can do that. I do know that the newest edition of this, and I probably should just upgrade it. I don't know why I haven't, but the newest edition does have a built-in de-esser, I saw. But yeah, I'll play it for you. I'm going to solo some vocals now so you can kind of hear the difference between them being processed and them being unprocessed. There is gold in the temple! There's a fire that burns below! There are angels and devils! It just does everything that I would want 5 or 6 other plugins to do. And that's basically how I set it up. And what I will tinker with occasionally is sometimes I will automate, do like a write automation. Logic has a function where you can basically set it to write automation. You can make tweaks and then it will basically read that when you do it again. Sometimes I'll mess with that, but honestly, a lot of times I will just use this plugin, and my actual like chain is a Shure SM7B directly into my UA Apollo. And on the UA Apollo, it has its own little console. I use the 1176 and it takes about 1 or 2 dB off. And then I use an LA2A emulation and that takes another probably 1 or 2 dB off. And then I use the Howard Benson vocals, and that's basically the entire chain. That. And it's funny because it sounds like the record that we did with Howard and Chris Lord Alge. It to my ears, it sounds like that. And it's I don't know, I'm a huge advocate for things like that. There's purists that will tell you, well, like, no, you should do it this way, but it's like, I don't know. I didn't create those plugins either. So all of these are tools that somebody else created. So if they can make your workflow better, I'm just such a huge advocate for that.